I always tell people that the best of builders are carpenters. But I am not hitting my head against the concrete wall for adding some zeros, in my bank account, or because I want to get a private plane that I should fly around with. I don't intend to retire. I don't have anything like retirement in my vocabulary. We're trying to build 1 million homes across the continent, and we're forging partnership as much as possible. For me, I worked for others for 15 good years. Can you imagine the first day that a doctor looks into your eyes and says, look, it's been confirmed that you have a...
Hey guys, welcome back to Property Investment Blueprint Podcast. Meet Mr. Mustapha Njie, a titan in Africa property development and the visionary founder of TAF Africa Homes, with a portfolio that spans across 9 African countries, including the Gambia, Nigeria, Senegal, Sierra Leone, and a lot more. Mr. Njie has successfully built over 8,000 homes, marking his territory in the real estate investment world. Under his leadership, TAF Africa Homes has forged powerful partnerships with notable entities like the River State Government in Nigeria, SVA Architects in South Africa, and Reed Steel Structural Engineers in United Kingdom. In Nigeria alone, his project has boosted a staggering worth of dollars. With an impressive 35 years plus in the industry, Mr. Njie's expertise has not only earned him a great spot in the International Property Development Forum, but also a collection of local and international accolades. This includes titles like the Gambian Businessman of the Year, the African SMME in Construction Award, and the ECOWAS Honorable Businessman Award, and most recently, the Global Sustainability Real Estate Developer of the Year Award, among lots and lots of other awards. But that's not all. Mustapha Njie's creativity and passion for inspiring the next generation have led him to author a children's book, which is absolutely amazing, called TAF the Builder, adding another feather to his already hilarious cap.
Fine, thank you, Rahim. Thank you so much. And yes, wow, that's a lot, huh? And I was wondering, wow, is that me he's talking about?
You've done amazing. You've done amazing.
But
I
thank
love
you
that.
so much. Thank you so much. I'm honored and I'm humbled.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. So, what have you done in your earliest years? I need to understand the real Mustapha Njie that people have not heard about.
Well, you see, in my early years, as early as finishing high school, I was supposed to continue my education like everybody else into the tertiary and probably get a university degree. But I was so stubborn and mainly stubborn about my passion that, look, I discovered my passion, which was carpentry. That, look, I wanted to do carpentry, and that's what I wanted to pursue. I was having a lot of fun with it. And so immediately that I finished high school, which was one of the best high schools in the Gambia, I was employed to teach woodwork. So that's how I started my career. Wow. And from then, which is about 49 years ago, I have not stopped. That's basically it. So from working as a teacher, I then got employed by an international British construction firm called Balfour Beatty. They're still in the UK. Yeah. They were in the Gambia. And my construction career started there as an engineer's assistant. And from then on, I have done everything in construction. So everything. Anything that you can think about construction, I have done it. So I came up the ladder, did my apprenticeship. And today, yes, I run my own business.
Fantastic. Well done for doing that. But what's your driving force? Carpentry and building homes is kind of similar, but what is the drive that gets you to start thinking about developing properties?
Well, you see, I always tell people that the best of builders are carpenters. You have different tradesmen within the building industry, masons, carpenters, painters, and you name them. But you will find that the best of builders, those that will end up being very good builders, are originally carpenters. So that did well for me. And yes, and as I said, I never thought at a very young age that I wanted to be a developer, property developer, which happens these days with the young ones. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
rather than picking up a trade and mastering it and then finding yourself developing yourself, no, they think that after finishing their education, oh, no, no, I want to be this. And then I should just be catapulted to be that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the case with me. And I would suggest also, and I say this all the time in all my public statements, that one needs to do his apprenticeship.
Mm-hmm.
And then you will find it there. You'll get to where you want to be, with a lot of focus and timing and good training.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, obviously as a carpenter working in a construction firm, I did everything: draftsmanship, architecture, engineering, the basics. But above all was just the passion to work and get things done.
Wow.
And that's what
Fantastic.
led me to where I am. And I'm still doing so. I mean, I'm still learning new trades and doing new things, and all that is that I just have fun in it. And I try to tell the young ones that issue of having a passion and enjoying it.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that with us. So take us back at young age. How was your childhood like?
Well, a childhood as early as probably in my teens. I mean, like I did everything that any young man, in this teenage age will do. But some of the things I have done also is where I lived in my father's house in the Gambia, in Banjul. There were some tailors who were there, and I also learned, tailoring. So, but if you go back and try to now analyze what led me to being a good entrepreneur, I mean, you can relate back to things like that because there were some tailors there, and I would go there, and they taught me how to do the basics in tailoring, and they would
Mhm.
pay me to do these things for them, like ironing the clothes when it's all done, putting the buttonholes manually, hemming the length of the trousers and so on. So I have always wanted to work and earn a living.
Mhm.
No, even at that age. And my mom also did contribute to who I am today. My mom sold food, you know, to schools and also like a street vendor.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
helped in preparing the food and
Wow.
going to these places and so on. So these are things that I encourage young ones to do. I'm not telling them that look, go and start selling food in the street, but never underestimate anything that comes your way
Yeah.
because you never know when you will need that experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. So now looking back then, what role the lack of money in your household growing up shape your view about money?
Well, listen, I was born to a middle class family.
Mhm.
So my dad was a civil servant, a public servant. My mom sold food out in the street. So really, it molded my life up to today. I mean, and that's about contentment.
Mhm.
Which is almost non-existence in today's world.
Mhm.
We are in a rat race, as I would say it, where we never say it's enough.
Mhm.
And for me, I think that's one thing that I have in me. I know when to say, okay, it's enough, and I don't kill myself over certain things.
Mhm.
And when that happens, actually, people think that you have too much. Like
Mhm.
when I say, oh, look, I'm contented with this, I'm okay, that's fine. I don't think I need this. Because, some of my friends or my contemporaries, because you are okay, you have enough. That's why. That's not the case.
Mhm.
Let me tell you, Rahim, I have a philosophy of life being a buffet,
Mhm. Wow.
meaning that when you step into a buffet, think about it. What do? You are charged a fee.
Yeah.
You pay a fee, you get into the buffet, and it's eat all you can. And
Mhm.
you'll never be able to finish the food.
No.
You'll find a whole roasted table of lamb, beef, whatever that you need, poultry. rice, carbohydrates, fish products, everything you'll find there, good desserts. But the place is so big. But if you just probably value what you've eaten, it
Mm-hmm.
will be very small.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what life is about for me.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst you will probably see huge opportunities to grow and grow and grow and grow, and if you ask yourself, then what? You just add up. But need to get to a point where you say, okay, look, that's okay for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Like generally, we know in Africa, I say this all the time. I have two cars, and I cannot imagine having more than two cars.
Mm-hmm.
One car is my everyday car, and I don't have a driver. When I'm in the Gambia, I drive myself,
Bless
and I
you.
don't see the need to have a driver.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have this when I have guests as an alternative. I also have, one I will call a luxury car,
Mm-hmm.
and that is it. But
Wow.
some of my contemporaries, or even who are much less privileged than me, in for example, Nigeria, in my estate, I see some families parking 5, 6 cars. And I ask myself, what do you need it for?
Yeah.
So for me, at my age now, that's what I tell people. Like now, you woke me up at this time. I would never get up at this time and do this.
Wow. Thank you.
I mean, I do my prayers, as a Muslim. I mean,
Mm.
around 5 o'clock
Yeah.
for about an hour, and then I go back to sleep. And when I go to sleep, I don't set an alarm. I just sleep until I'm exhausted in sleeping, so I will naturally wake up.
Wow. That's great.
And most of the time, it happens around 10 o'clock or so, after 10 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So in if you I mean, I have disciplined myself to sleep a minimum, an average of 8 hours a day.
Good. Good. Good.
So I break it. I sleep first 5 hours, I gotta do my prayers, and then sleep another 3 hours. So I could have been out there trying to run over governments, giving me appointments at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I've said no, 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 no. So I mean, I have built a team. Despite all these countries that I operate, I have teams there. And
Mm-hmm.
all I do is everything I do is virtual.
Yeah.
From
Good.
time to time, I get onto site because I
Mm-hmm.
enjoy it. I go and see things and meet people.
Mm-hmm.
But I am not hitting my head against the concrete wall for adding some zeros, in my bank account, or because I want to get a private plane that I should fly around with. For me, that's not what life is about.
Wow. Wow. I guess you have a bigger reason for doing what you're doing. So taking me back to Nigeria, actually Riverside State government. I think you may have built about 2,000 homes there. Am I correct in saying that, or more?
No, we built about 1,200. Actually, it's River State government. River
Okay.
State is one of the richest states in Nigeria, and it's
Mm-hmm.
the south.
Mm-hmm.
And with a GDP of about 42 billion dollars.
Wow. Wow.
And that's where the oil wealth is.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I have completed a project of 1,200 units
Mm-hmm.
with a golf course, a shopping mall, and other amenities. And that project started way back in 2012, and it's now completed, 100% sold out.
Wow.
Most recently, we signed again a public-private partnership with the River State government, but under a different administration now,
Mm-hmm.
for 20,000 units,
Wow.
and it's ongoing. We started in January, and we thank God it's going up very well.
Wow. Wow. I can only say wow to that. So thanks for sharing that with us. With that then, I know there's so many stuff that goes around this, which you may not be able to answer all of it. But what draws your attention to River State?
Well, destiny took me there. I tell people all the time, destiny. You will find out in business as you grow older in life that you will always go back and start to think, oh, how did I even do this? Why? How did I even get here? For example, now meeting you. I mean, people will ask me, how did you meet Rahim? It was, yes, destiny. We met at an event,
Yeah.
some less than 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and that is it. You are here interviewing me. So in life, generally for me, that's my strong belief.
Mm-hmm.
As a Muslim, that some of these things are predestined, that I
Mm-hmm.
will meet you, and when I meet you, this will happen, and there's something in the future that both of us don't even know.
Absolutely.
I was invited to River State by the governor then at the time, but even the connection was that a friend of mine met somebody in a plane, in an
Wow.
aeroplane. They were flying to South Africa, and my name came up.
Mm-hmm.
So, long story, but that landed me being invited in River State. The governor was interested in housing, and I was tasked to do so. So we signed up, and yes, the rest is history.
Wow. Well done for
Yes,
that. Well done. I know
thank
you
you.
are you're now replicating that to different countries. I know you've done it in South Africa, Rwanda, most recently in Sierra Leone. Could you tell us a bit about the project in Sierra Leone?
Yes, actually, what first, as a point of correction, we've registered in 9 African countries.
Wow.
But
Okay.
we are active in three of them, very active.
Okay.
And those are Gambia, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone.
Mm-hmm.
Sierra Leone, again, the same thing. I was invited to come and invest in the housing business as I'm doing now by the president. As
Mm-hmm.
you're probably aware, the president's wife, the first lady, is half Gambian.
Yeah.
So they came on a state visit in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So the first lady knew me and invited me to come and see the president because the president wanted to do something in housing.
Mm-hmm.
So I met him, and then he invited me to come over, and it took me 2 years to respond to his call because I don't just get up and go. I mean, I need to be sure that I am well prepared with the capacity and the
Mm-hmm.
know-how of the country to do so.
Mm-hmm.
So fast track from 2019 in 2021. I went, and yes, that's when we started. We are now doing 5,000 units on a
Wow.
public-private partnership. Generally, what I'm trying to build 1 million homes, affordable homes across the continent.
Beautiful.
So, and it's through public-private partnership. The government brings the land. In
Mm-hmm.
some cases, bring some money in, and then some basic infrastructure, and the rest we will do it. We will bring in the finances and also the others to make it happen.
Fantastic. For the people that do not know what public-private partnership is, would you be able to elaborate that a little bit?
Yes, I mean public-private partnership. Actually, these days, it's a platform to use for infrastructure project
Mm-hmm.
because public meaning government or other government institutions. I mean, they have their own strength. And when you're talking about housing, land is an issue, especially in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't go in and try to buy land because that just shoots the prices up.
Mm-hmm.
And also, land is always comes with a lot of controversies. People fight over land ownership. There are land grabbers and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So we allow government to come in and contribute land as their equity. And in some cases, some other incentives like tax free and so on, and so many things. And then coming from the private sector, as a private developer, I now take in charge of the project because, as we know, the private sector is more efficient in delivery of certain issues.
Yeah.
So we will then do the design, we will do all the technical issues like soil investigations and you name it. Then we'll also find the funding, deal with banks to bring it in. We'll
Mm-hmm.
manage the project.
Mm-hmm.
But then a board supervises the setup, which is a special purpose vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And in that board, we have representation of the two parties. That's those from the public sector and us from the private sector.
Fantastic. I love that. You've explained it really, really nice.
Yeah.
Looking at your journey from a carpenter to building one of the biggest real estate development empire, if not the biggest in Africa, what were the biggest challenges you faced when you started and expanded in property development? How did you overcome it?
Well, finance is always an issue, but that is if you just want to jump from 0 to 10. You know,
Mm.
I again, I'm very philosophical these days, and I tell the young ones who listen to me for inspiration that life is more of a step of, stairs that you go up than than an elevator, than a lift. You don't just go to the ground floor, press a button, and it takes you to the 10th floor.
Yeah.
No, you take the steps and you take one step at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And a step
Mm-hmm.
on average, it's about 6 inches. So you take
Mm-hmm.
one at a time. And at a time you can stop at one level. You go to a landing and you stop there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then you
Mm-hmm.
move again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what life is about. So in my journey, I understood that very early. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, there were challenges with finances, but I did some savings, and then I will chew. I will bite what I can chew. You
Mm-hmm.
know, meaning I didn't just start to build this number of houses. I mean, I
Yeah.
started by building free houses. That was
Mm-hmm.
my first commercial development that I did in Gambia,
Mm-hmm.
three of
Mm-hmm.
them.
Mm-hmm.
So and then you make some bit of money. The next time you build is about five, and then the numbers start multiplying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So finance is always a challenge, but that's a lesson to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, I was into some competitive bidding, and it was a challenge for me because at times things are not done right, and I never
Yeah.
had the heart to continue.
Mm-hmm.
So at a very early age or early stage in my business, I decided to quit, competitive bidding, doing any
Mm-hmm.
government tenders.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I
And
love that.
I built my brand, and my brand was around delivery of homes.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
uh, in Africa, especially this part of the world, technical capacity also is a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Getting the
Mm-hmm.
right tradesmen to do the right things, but we try to overcome them.
Yeah. I love
Yeah,
that.
so I will just stop with those as major challenges.
Okay. So you see, touching on the funding a little bit there. So what how would one be able to overcome that? Does that could you shine a little bit of light there?
Well, on funding, you have to build equity.
Yeah.
Because for me, I worked for others for 15 good years. So whilst
Absolutely.
working, I saved my money.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Mm-hmm.
have to have that habit of saving. So
Mm-hmm.
so I built a house even before I started, running a business.
Wow.
So if I go to the bank will ask you for a collateral.
Yeah, true.
So then I pledge my house for a collateral in exchange of money to invest in my business.
Wow.
So that's how I built it up. And also you must have the habit of saving, and
Yeah.
you must also bite what you can chew.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Mm-hmm.
always consume your profits. Some
Mm-hmm.
businesses, young businesses, they start enjoying or consuming their profits even before the business is done.
Yeah.
You do
Yeah.
it on paper,
Mm-hmm.
and then you said, oh yeah, I will make a profit of X amount. And then you think that, okay, that's your amount of money. You start, investing in things like buying a car or traveling or whatever. Profit must be physical. You must see that, yes, I've earned it. And even
Mm-hmm.
when you make profit,
Mm-hmm.
the majority of it should be saved somewhere or reinvested back in the business.
Absolutely. I love that. So we call it here delay gratification. So you delay the gratification, you delay spending your money, whatever you make, you reinvest. Now I can see how that connects. So thanks for sharing that with us. Your journey is very inspiring. What motivates you to shift from a regular carpenter to a real estate billionaire, and how has this changed your life?
Well, as I said, I mean, I from a carpenter, I started working. I worked for 15 good years. So
Mhm,
I learned the game of building.
mhm.
I got hired as an engineer's assistant. Then I worked whilst I was with Balfour Beatty. I worked as a draftsman, so I could do drawings. Up to today, I do some drawings. I sit down and do drawings quickly because I know what I want.
Wow.
I know the basic. I do my basic engineering.
Mhm,
I know how to calculate the number of paint that you need in a building. Plumbing I have done physically, but I know how it is done. Because I have lived that. I've
mhm,
worked as a building foreman. I've worked as a building supervisor.
mhm,
I've worked as a project manager. I have
mhm,
worked as an assistant general manager of a small firm.
mhm,
So I have gone up the ladder up to the very, very top before I started at my own business. So that is key. I have done 15 years of apprenticeship.
Wow. Wow.
So after doing all that, I mean, I started small.
Mm-hmm.
I keep emphasizing this. You start small. The longest journey starts with a single step.
Absolutely.
But these days, again, the young ones, they just think that they need to be catapulted. You just get somewhere and then the button is pressed and then boom, you fly and then land at success. It doesn't work that way.
No, and
But
yeah,
so
sorry, carry
so
on.
I say it doesn't work that way. For me, honestly, I took everything step by step to be where I am.
Yeah. Entrepreneurial safe or life is a journey. So I still remembering about the analogy, just saying that it's one step at a time. So I can see the different stages you've gone. For the people that think, oh, he just become a real estate billionaire, he's just lucky. It was so people can relate to understand that, listen, you have to go through those steps in order to get you to where you want to go. So I really love that. I believe in that as well. I believe in say if easy come, easy go. Right.
Yes.
So I believe in that. So I believe in working hard and then my luck would come. So I love that. So I love that journey you've just shared with us. So what advice would you give to someone who's interested in real estate development, but might feel intimidated by finance and knowledge barrier?
Start small. Start small all the time. I mean, if you want to start a business, start building small. I mean, do some partnership. Maybe you have a friend, somebody who's also interested. You must bring something onto the table.
Yeah.
You don't just get up one morning and say, "Oh no, I want to be this." You have to bring something to the table. Have you been trained? The world is a very competitive world.
Yeah.
What difference are you going to bring to on the table different from what exists? Why
Mm-hmm.
should somebody come and buy your house?
Yeah.
And you don't go to the shop to buy cement or building materials and tell them, no, I just want to be a builder, so give me the materials.
No.
So you have to start from somewhere. You have to do something.
Wow. I
So
love that.
start small, always start small. And,
Mm-hmm.
again, in being philosophical at this age, life is more of a marathon than a 100-meter dash.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So take it easy, take it time by time. What is important is for you to finish the race.
Mm-hmm.
I am
Mm-hmm.
67 and I'm still,
Bless you.
going from one country to the other, mashallah.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, most of the time, the young ones that I meet, I mean, at
Mm-hmm.
age 30 or early 30s, they think that they have failed in life. And they
Mm-hmm.
think, oh, no, no, they haven't even started.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if you're working for somebody, clock extra hours and make more money and
Yeah.
save the money.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't cannot have your cake and eat it. So
No.
you want to work less hours, and then
Mm-hmm.
yes, still you want to progress and be successful. It doesn't work that way.
No. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. So you build your wealth and billions in Africa. Without a doubt, you are one of the most successful real estate investors and a businessman in Africa. What message do you have for Gambians, Nigerians, Sierra Leoneans, in fact, all African youth who thinks migrating to the West, such as England, America, Europe, Canada, to name but a few, is the only thing that will make them successful?
The issue about being successful to make it in life, some has traveled to the West and they have made it there. So there's nothing wrong in doing so. Some have stayed in Africa and have made it here. So there's nothing wrong in doing so. So there's no fixed law, or rule to say that you have to be there to make it in life.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't travel at all, and I've made it to where I am. I am regarded as a successful entrepreneur, a successful developer.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be done. There are principles that you have to adopt.
Mm-hmm.
And I've given out some principles of key values, mainly on leadership and entrepreneurship, and I can share that with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I will list it out to be only 12 in number.
Okay.
I will start, and if you want to remember it,
Yeah.
always remember ice, fade, chip.
Okay.
ICE for ice,
Mm-hmm.
FADE for fade,
Mm-hmm.
and CCHIP,
Mm-hmm.
chip.
Mm-hmm.
Ice, fade, chip.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an acronym for each, well, for each letter I for integrity.
Mm-hmm.
You must be a person of integrity to say that, look, even when nobody is looking, I will do things right.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Example, me, I tell my workers all the time that this house needs to be done properly and do this right.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody up there has trusted us, sent his money, he's
Mm-hmm.
living in the US, and
Mm-hmm.
then he wants a good house.
Yes.
Yes, he's not looking at you, but that is contractual.
Mm-hmm.
And because you are a man of integrity, I have built this over the years. I have to
Mm-hmm.
do it right.
Yeah.
So, see, you must be committed.
Mm-hmm.
So, commitment. Not
Mm-hmm.
that you want to do this within 2, 3 years, say, oh no, it's not working, I'm going to jump into another thing. No, 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 no. You must be
Mm-hmm.
committed that, look, this is what I want to do, and I will do everything possible to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Come rain, come storm.
I love that.
So then empowerment,
Mm-hmm.
you need to empower people. If you're working as an entrepreneur, as a leader, you need to empower, understanding that, look, I cannot do it alone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a teamwork. So it's not all about yourself, it's about others also.
I love
So
that.
that's ICE, E for
Mm-hmm.
empowerment. And
Mm-hmm.
then F for
Mm-hmm.
futuristic vision.
Wow.
You must be futuristic. You are here today. You have to plan and see clearly within your mind that this is where I want to be in the next number of years. And then you start planning and then
Mm-hmm.
you implement.
Yeah. Wow.
So no entrepreneur without vision will make it. Same
Sure.
as a leader.
Mm-hmm.
You must be accountable as the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Accountability is key. You're
Mm-hmm.
running a business, you need to make sure that you prepare your accounts, you make sure you pay your taxes, and you keep
Mm-hmm.
your profit. You must be transparent to make sure this is done. I'm accountable to myself. I own the business, I'm the CEO, but I
Mm-hmm.
am salaried, I am doing this, XYZ, and I need to be supervised by so many institutions. There must be this level of transparency. So accountability is key for an
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur and a leader.
Mm-hmm.
Then decision making, take the right decisions.
Mm-hmm.
That's D. So
Mm-hmm.
take the right decisions. If you take the wrong decisions, you go off track.
Yeah.
Then E, be empathetic because you'll build a team. As you're
Mm-hmm.
building a team, you need to understand how to work with people. You
Correct.
might be lucky and privileged to be at the top, but those
Mm-hmm.
that you're working with you and you are the leader, so you need to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Then C, you need to another C, which is good communication.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You need to communicate very well. I
Yeah.
tell people all the time, the reason you see me speak out, when I speak, people listen.
Yeah.
You need to communicate very well. You have clients who come to you and you need to communicate very well.
I love that.
And then another C is to be courageous. You need a lot of courage to succeed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then H for honesty. Honesty
Mm-hmm.
is key. You need to be honest in every dealing that you are doing, in every relationship.
I
You are
love that.
given credit, you are given material, and you
Mm-hmm.
promise to pay at the right time. You must be there to pay. If you have problems, call the guy, go there.
Mm-hmm.
But don't
Mm-hmm.
just take the material and disappear and say, oh, no, no, please, I didn't get the money. That's why.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You must be honest.
I love that.
You must be innovative. Innovation is key.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Mm-hmm.
always say that, this is the way it was being done, so I'm going to do it that way again.
Mm-hmm.
Without innovation, we will not progress.
Yeah.
And the last and not the least is passion.
Wow.
You must be
Wow.
passionate in what you're
Mm-hmm.
doing. And I
Yeah.
am very much passionate in what I do and I enjoy it.
I can see that.
So I want to leave you with those. I mean, those are things that any good entrepreneur or leader must have. If you cannot have all the 12 values, please try and get most of it.
I
The
love
more
that.
you have, then the more probably the chance of being successful.
I love that. I love that. In your experience, what are the key factors that contribute to success in property development, especially for those starting with little money or no or inexperience?
Do it right.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, do it right. Doing a property, doing a house, there are so many components that you bring together.
Yeah.
So when you hang the door, hang it right.
Mm-hmm.
When you paint it, the walls must be smooth.
Mm-hmm.
When you fix the plumbing, there shouldn't be leakages.
Mm-hmm.
When you fix the roof, it should be done right. That's
Correct.
what is contractual. And
Mm-hmm.
once you do it right, imagine Rahim, you want to buy a property in Sierra Leone. You are
Mm-hmm.
in England.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to come and then what you expected, you don't have it.
I know.
But if I do it right, what
Mm-hmm.
happens? You will be my marketer.
Correct.
Anybody you know who wants to come to Sierra Leone will say, oh, no, 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 please don't give your money to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Although this guy, when he quoted me, Tough Salon Microcity was much higher than the others.
Mm-hmm.
But I never had any headaches.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
True.
got what I expected.
Mm-hmm.
Others will share the experience, and it's common very well. Oh no, I sent my money and I expected this. When I went back, I didn't even find a house.
Wow. So,
You
so
know,
that is a big problem in Africa, to be honest. So it's good we
yes. So
have
build your
developers
brand.
like yourself, because I remember some of my investors telling me, look, I was about to build a house in Nigeria. I sent all this money. I went back. There was no house, right? Everything is gone. So having developers like yourself doing it on a wholesale as well as retail form is very, very good for diasporas. This then takes me nicely to my next question. Say I am a prospect looking to buy one property in one of your developments, let's say in Nigeria, for example. What is the exact process of buying that house?
But first, these days, thanks to technology and social media, as you can see, I am very, very, very connected.
Yeah.
Socially, and media these days. I enjoy one of the things I really enjoy is the media.
Mm-hmm.
That's my new founded passion. So you get in, and then you'll contacted by our executive sales executives,
Mm-hmm.
and they will take you through the process, send you the price and list. Within a second you can get it on your phone,
Mm-hmm.
and then you do a reservation. Once a reservation is done, you need to bring up the money. There are different payment plans for
Mm-hmm.
different countries.
Mm-hmm.
Some as low as 20% of the value,
Mm-hmm.
and then again the spread. Some are spread over a year, some are spread up to 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So there are different payment plans, and yeah. So then obviously you will be notified when your payments are due, and also you'll be sent progress reports.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
These days you can send live videos.
Mm-hmm.
So many things can be done. So very, very transparent about the process of how we sell houses.
Fantastic. I love that. So you're kind of selling them off plan. You kind of sell it
Off
before it
plan.
even get built. And
Yes,
then
no, we sell
I
off plan.
and then I assume that the buyer or the investor then get notified stages of the development. I love that. I love that strategy. For the people in the UK now that normally, as you know, in the UK, most people buy houses in mortgages and things like that. Is that sort of facility available for your developments? Or do you work in partnership with other banks that helps facilitate process like that?
In the Gambia, we do. I mean, mortgages, one key factor about mortgages to make it successful is affordability.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, it's on the interest rates and the tenor.
Mm-hmm.
So in the Gambia, after a while, we have been successful to be able to work with banks that will issue out mortgages of 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the interest rates are as low as 13, 14%.
Good. Okay.
In Sierra Leone, you cannot, because the interest rates are about 30%.
Wow.
So it's not affordable,
Mm-hmm.
and then in Nigeria, almost the same.
Mm-hmm.
In Gambia, we sell in hard currency, and there's no issue with that. In Nigeria, we cannot.
Mm-hmm.
And the currency is fluctuating like a yo-yo. So mortgage
Yeah.
is completely, you just
Mm-hmm.
can't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but I think the future of property ownership in Africa is
Mm-hmm.
when we sort out mortgage issues.
Yeah.
The supply is not a problem. We can
Mm-hmm.
always supply as many as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Mm-hmm.
issue is people cannot buy a house like the way you buy your bread. Just take
Yeah.
out the cash and buy it.
True.
You have to buy through a financial institution, and
Mm-hmm.
that is their business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but we, as you say, as I've said, we're trying to build 1 million homes across the continent, and
Mm-hmm.
we're forging partnership as much as possible with
Mm-hmm.
financial institutions, so that we should be able to, get them to issue mortgages
Mm-hmm.
and making housing delivery much more affordable and accessible.
That would help a lot. That would help a lot. So take me back on the project in Sierra Leone. Could you tell us what the concept, what I know you said you got about 5,000 homes to build that. What comes with those 5,000 homes? What's within that project?
Well, we started. Obviously, we're not putting all the 5,000 in one location. The first land that were given to us by the government as their contribution is in John Obey. John Obey is on the Peninsula Road, and it's a micro city with 1,250 units, different type of houses. And yes, it comes also with all the other facilities like schools, both primary and secondary, health facilities, shopping, petrol station, mosque, church, cemetery. So it's a settlement. It's like a subdivision. What in the US they'll call a subdivision, or probably in England it's called a county.
Yeah.
So the thing is that we try to get people to have a life there, like what we call a live, walk, and play. So you don't have to commute from there. It's about 1 hour's drive between this new development and Freetown.
Wow.
But on a good road. All the roads are nicely done, well tarred, and location is excellent. Good view of the ocean, and it's sitting on a hill. Sierra Leone landscape, it's lovely. I'm in love with the place. So, but yes, when you live there, you don't have to shuttle every day going into Freetown. So that's what is happening there. And it was started about a year ago or less than a year ago. And thank God it's selling very well. People have confidence in us. And we think within the next 1 year, we'll start delivering the first houses.
Fantastic. I love that. I've seen the project online. It looks amazing. And I was able to see the bird view of it. The mountains literally make it really, really beautiful. So I love that. So I love what you're doing there. So we're in the UK. We here in the UK, property investors like myself, we leverage a lot with banks to acquire investment properties or development. Suppose I want to start maybe a smaller scale in Africa. What are the steps involved from acquiring the land, financing, development, and sale process?
Well, I guess if you're coming from the UK, you must bring some little bit of savings.
Correct. Yes.
So buy the land first. Secure the land. But when you do so, please make sure that you do the right due diligence. First talk to a lawyer, a good lawyer, reputable lawyer. Anything that you do, make sure it's handled by a lawyer to make sure good due diligence is done on the parcel of land that you are buying. And you can buy, for example, in Freetown, as small as 1 town lot or 2 town lot or whatever, depending on your budget, but do it right. Just try to, make your own inquiries on what you think the demand is. Probably you have some friends in the UK who wants to buy houses. And then you have a relationship with them. You say, yes, going back home, I'm setting up this, and yes, if you want, I'm building 5 or 4, but yes, I have 3 for sale. So maybe he will give you some part of his savings and maybe off plan if you're trusted. So you have to start from somewhere. And the moment you strike by just delivering the first one successfully, what will go around?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So for the people, I know you've talked about the buyers funding the deal. Is there any other alternative that you could raise funds?
You should avoid the banks, because remember, the banks will not give you money free of charge.
True.
So always avoid the banks. Your best type of development is off plan. And Dubai is known for huge, big time property development. That's what developed Dubai. Dubai, they sell you off plan. You they get in there, you start paying small when the project is going to be finished in 4 years' time or 2 years' time. So yes, they use those funds, and then probably, push their profits at the very latter end. And that's what we do. But the moment I go to the bank will give me the money, yes, but then I will pay 10, 12%. So that 10, 12% now is added onto the price of the property. So if you can avoid the banks, the better for you.
I love that. And then probably, as you said, getting people to trust you, to put that maybe 10, 15 or 10% that you're talking about, that would then get you going, and you slowly do it house by house, probably until you finish off, and then obviously you make your profit that way. So I guess you buy and sell. You don't normally hold the properties, do you?
No, 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 no. I don't. I mean, even my own house, I can sell it.
Proper businessman you are. So
Yeah.
I know you've done amazing, right? You've done absolutely amazing. What are your future goals in property investment, and how do you plan to continue inspiring others in this field?
Well, Rahim, I am an active retiree.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever I do, they must have fun in it. It's something I
Mm-hmm.
enjoy. Obviously, the business is a family-run business,
Mm-hmm.
and when I say family, it doesn't only stop to my own blood kids. Huh? I
Mm-hmm.
have had some workers who have really committed to this company, and they come along.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's why I'm able to expand. I mean, I have people who are running those businesses who are not directly related to me,
Wow, bless you.
but they're trusted, like Nigeria. I'm not in Nigeria now. I'm here. I am in the Gambia. I've not been to Nigeria for over a month, and it's
Mm-hmm.
progressing very well.
I love that.
So you must develop trust also amongst your team.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Mm-hmm.
will know, look, oh, we also have a piece in the pie.
Yeah, true.
I'm not here
True.
only being employed, but
Mm-hmm.
there's my future in this business.
Yeah.
So in the Gambia, I mean, my girls, I only have girls. They are all
Bless
involved in the
them.
business.
I love that.
So yeah, and they really take the responsibility. The risk is more on them than me. I
Mm-hmm.
think I've done my bit, and that is why you see me at times hopping around in events like where we met, sharing
Mm-hmm.
my experience, building a network.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a variety of things that I do, and not to stress myself over it. That's one basic rule that at my age now,
Mm-hmm.
I don't intend to retire. I don't have anything like retirement in my vocabulary.
I love that. I
But
love that.
I will not stress myself over anything. I'm not fighting for the extra $1 million or £1 million that I want to
Mm-hmm.
add or no. It's
Mm-hmm.
all based on my call. That this is the way I want it done, and we must take that time. I mean, I get approached so many times. There are some governments that are in the queue.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
If it's not ready, I will not come.
Mm-hmm.
I told you, Sierra Leone took me 2 years to go.
I love that. Mm-hmm.
But some people will just jump on a bandwagon and say, "Oh yeah, I've been invited to go and do this," and off you go. No,
Mm-hmm.
no, no. I'm not rushing with anybody. I'm not in a race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that. Your enthusiasm and energy is what draws me to you when I met you. What really keeps you going without losing your energy and your enthusiasm?
Well, I look after my health. Like for example, when I was in the UK, I had to see my doctors too. So that's one thing I do very well: routine health check.
Mm-hmm.
I am hypertensive for the past 27 years. I get
Bless
up
you.
every morning and I take my tablets because it's hereditary. It ran with my mom, my dad, so I have it
Mm-hmm.
at a very young age, at the age of 40. At the age of 51, I got hit with prostate cancer.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm a prostate cancer survivor, and I did
Bless you.
an advanced prostatectomy in the UK. So I do my health check regularly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things that keeps me going. So I make sure things like I eat healthy, I don't take stress, I
Mm-hmm.
exercise,
Mm-hmm.
and just try to be a happy person. So yes, I have a lot of energy, and it's just because I enjoy it too. It's fun. It's a lot of fun that I have.
Yeah, I love that. I see you running in your treadmill. I saw a video you running in your on your treadmill. That was amazing. I love that. Touching back about hard times, especially when you had the prostrate. I'm definitely inspired by someone who overcome hard time. Do you mind sharing time and event that was really hard during that process and how you overcame it?
There are different stages. Number one, okay, first, after all this, and I told my doctor actually last week that you say, doctor, there are certain things that you need to thank God about. One, having an ailment like having prostrate and having it diagnosed because you can miss it.
Mm-hmm.
You're lucky to have it diagnosed.
Mm-hmm.
And then number two, having the right doctor who can diagnose you right. You're
Mm-hmm.
also lucky to have that.
Mm-hmm.
Then number three, having the means
Yeah.
to pay for it. to do it right. You're so lucky. And
Yeah.
then finally, it's also having the qualified surgeon to perform that surgery was good for me. So the
Absolutely.
whole process, I mean, and I thank God that all those were ticked right,
Mm-hmm.
and then having the courage to face it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine the first day that a doctor looks into your eyes and say, "Look, it's been confirmed that you have cancer in you."
Wow.
You can imagine what the
Mm-hmm.
feeling is, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So not only that, but the process of having to share that with your close ones, like your wife, your
Mm-hmm.
kids, your my
Mm-hmm.
mom was alive, my
Wow.
close friends, my
Mm.
you know, so it's a whole process.
I feel you.
So the pre-surgery process and the surgery itself and also the post-surgery, because I did it happened at the health London clinic in Harley Street. And
Mm-hmm.
that was where it was done. And it was a free hour surgery. Free
Wow.
hours,
That's
you
serious.
know, it's serious. But I got out of it. And actually currently I am, I do my motivational videos. I do some short motivational videos. And
Mm-hmm.
currently I am doing 12 tips on prostate cancer, which I'm
I love that.
sharing. I started it last week. I will send you the first one I did.
Please.
And every Monday, I send it to all my contacts. And Rahim, you'll be surprised. And that when I started this, the amount of men that has come reach out to me private,
Mm-hmm.
yes, this is happening to me. I have gone through this. This is what's going on. One of the things that amongst the things that I've listed out is, discussing it openly
Yeah.
because we're
Mm-hmm.
too discreet about it. And
Mm-hmm.
it's killing people.
Yeah,
It's
true.
not, it's being stigmatized.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And for African men, once you are above the age of 50, you stand a chance of having your prostate enlarged.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm encouraging that anybody about the age of 50 or so should
Mm-hmm.
at least do a test once a
Mm-hmm.
year.
Wow.
Your test is done through urine, or your blood.
Mm-hmm.
And through
Mm-hmm.
your PSA, they will now see, how enlarged your prostate is or whether there's cancer in it.
Wow, I love that. Thank you so, so, so much for sharing that. And that is very personal to you. I'm sure I've taken that now. I'm gonna write that down. I need to do all those tests as well. So thank you for sharing
Please.
that. So I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. This is the funny part, and I love this part. What inspired you to write the book Taft the Builder? And what are the main takeaway you hope readers will gain from it?
I always wanted to write my memoirs,
Yeah.
and I'm still writing. But these days with technology, I'm also doing a film about my life.
Wow, good.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
But you're just doing it properly. So whilst on the thought, I
Mm-hmm.
was approached by Fayen, some Gambian writers. He said, "Look, Uncle Taf, I think you should write a book." Because I get this
Mm-hmm.
all the time. People always ask, "Have you written something about your story?" And because it was a good start,
Mm-hmm.
starting from a children's book. So
Mm-hmm.
it's the beginning of series of books that I intend to write. And this one has
Beautiful.
been successful and has been seen, to be very inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what led me to it. So the next thing I am trying to work on the four quadrants of life.
Wow.
That I call life to be of four quadrants. And
Mm-hmm.
look, these days when you clock 80, it's long life, it's longevity.
Yeah, true.
So I've divided 80 into four,
Mm-hmm.
and I will call it life is real.
Mm-hmm.
REL. So
Mm-hmm.
the first quadrant, which is 0 to 20, will be on reliance.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are just up to 20 years old. Everything you achieve. Somebody must have supported you.
Yeah.
And then the next quadrant between 20 and 40 is experimental.
Mm-hmm.
So think about it. Between 20 and 40, you never succeed in doing things. You're
Mm-hmm.
experimenting a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
as a career, a family, work, a religion, whatever you do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then the third quadrant is between 40 and 60. which is the quadrant of actualization.
Yeah.
That's the quadrant I told the make it or break it.
True.
So between 40 and 60. And then the last quadrant that I am in now, between 60 and above, or between 60 and 80, it's on legacy. You try to leave a
Wow.
legacy behind. So that is why I call it Life is Real.
Wow, I love
So
that.
my next book that is coming out will be on those four quadrants.
I cannot wait to read or listen to that book. Look, you form one of the biggest charities in Africa, the TAF African Foundation, donating 1% of all TAF Africa global revenue towards several causes. What draws your attention to doing things like that?
It's godly. I mean, as a Muslim, you have to donate actually 2.5% of your savings, for zakat.
Yeah.
As a Christian, it's 10% for your tithes.
Yes, true.
So it's godly that you have to give.
Yeah.
But I chose that, look, I'm not waiting to save before I give out. So any revenue that comes in, 1% of it, which relatively is a lot, goes to my foundation. And my foundation is on one thing. It's giving it back to the youth.
I love that.
Because I'm thinking that, look, there was a time that I was in their shoes and they need assistance, but it's structured. It is structured. My foundation is structured into 7 different initiatives.
Okay.
One is doing a conference called TAFCon. This conference, it's the biggest private conference in the Gambia. So, and then the second one, we do a leadership academy, which is called TAFLA, TAF Leadership Academy. And then I also do a startup, where I give money, they compete, and I give them money.
I love that.
And then I have the TAF Technical Training Institute, where we train people. And then I have the Disability Trust Fund, where the disabled, we help them.
Wow.
And then I have also the TAF Icon, where I look at, people who's worked for society, but now are not recognized. But you must be over 70. So somebody like me, I'm not qualified even to be honored on that.
Wow. Okay.
But
I love that.
Worked, you have given to society, and they say, yes, we need to honor this person. And then now we have the TAF Hub, where it's more on advocacy. I have a channel, a YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, and everything I do on social media. If you look at my social media post, it's not only on my business, but it's on other businesses.
Yeah. Yeah.
For example, whilst I was in London, I visited a restaurant that is owned by a Gambian, and it's just gone viral. So people are going there now, just to show success stories of young people who are trying. Yesterday there's a lady, a seamstress, who was one of the first winners of our TAF startups. She does fashion design, and I visited her place, and and posted on all my YouTube channel, all my social media channels. So I work a lot on advocacy also. At times it lands me in trouble because some people think that I have an agenda, especially politicians. Thinking, the next thing is he's going to go into politics, which is a no.
That was my other question. So good you start, and you've answered that now.
Yeah, no way. I am not interested. Some people cannot trust me though, no matter what I say. They say, oh no, it's just some time, but he will land there.
Yeah, but I said never say never.
But I will say never. I am not a politician. There's one basic thing that is said in politics, and I don't agree, and I don't do that. They say politics is about interest.
True.
There's no permanent friend in politics, and I have permanent friends.
Wow.
I have had friends that are, way back to my, primary school days, and we are still friends, and we still hook up.
Wow.
No matter what, we are friends, and we want to die being friends.
I love that.
But
that.
In politics, no. In politics today, you are with white. Tomorrow, you are with green. Next day, you are with yellow. That's not me. I cannot do that. I'm too principled for that.
I love that.
I cannot be a politician.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Yeah, carry on.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I have an elderly man who's more like my spiritual father. And he says that the politicians will tell you what they will not do and do what they will not tell you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree to that.
And I cannot do that. I mean, that's why I'm very open. I am very open-minded, and I will tell you exactly what I will do.
I love that. I love that perception. I love the principle, especially not giving a principle away.
Yeah.
especially where you are right now. You can influence whatever you want to influence, and you can do whatever you want to do right now in your stage you are. So it's good to know you're still keeping up with your principle. And again, with your
Yeah.
charity work, if there's anything you want me to do, especially talking to youth, if I have to travel to Gambia, I would absolutely do it at free of charge. Absolutely
Thank
nothing,
you so much.
no
That's very
charge.
nice of
And
you.
if you want me to jump on a Zoom with them, I'm happy to do it. Share my story, how I started and everything for absolutely free of charge. It wouldn't cost us anything. We're nearly at the end. This is going to be a
Yeah.
quick fire round questions. Just one answer will do. One word, right? Let's
Yeah.
get this going. Worst advice you remember receiving?
Buy a taxi.
Best advice you remember receiving?
Be honest.
Your biggest regret?
Not having traveled out of Gambia earlier than when I did.
Is there something you believe that lots of people disagree with?
Issue about success, luck.
Mm-hmm.
For me, luck is 95% and 5% efforts.
Okay.
So if you miss that 5%, you will not get the 95%.
I love that. What
Yeah.
is the best book you've ever read or listened to?
Losing My Virginity by Richard Branson.
Oh, I love that book myself. Does money change you?
Not at all, but I need it. It's good to have it.
Does money make you happy?
Oh, yes, relatively, yes. Without it, you can be terrible.
Is there something you used to strongly believe and you recently changed your mind on?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I have been who I am. I mean, I will evolve, things will move on in life, but I am still who I am.
Fantastic. I love that. Is there something in the world you fundamentally think is wrong and you would like to change?
Inequality.
Wow. I love that.
I hate inequality. We need to work on it. The world is in trouble because the gap of inequality is widening. Yeah, we need to close it up.
I love that.
I don't believe strongly in the way they see business. I mean, and especially in the capitalist world, the issue of just building up profits and profits and profits, where you would even send some people home because you think that, well, I can now utilize a robot than having human capital in there. That is wrong. There's a social impact, and that is why today ESG is very popular. ESG meaning environmental, making sure the environment is done right. Socially, you must also comply, and governance. We must think about the social aspect.
Yeah. I like that. I love that. This podcast is called Property Investment Blueprint. What does Property Investment Blueprint means to you?
Well, I guess it's about promoting properties, and you talk to people and guide them, and market yourself from a business point of view. You must be making some few pounds and pence out of it.
Okay, I love that. Final one. If there was only one person you'd love me to interview, who will that person be and why?
Well, my hero would have been the one. He's passed. It should have been Nelson Mandela. He's my hero. He's my role model, everything. But today it will be Bola Tinubu. Bola Tinubu, the president of Nigeria. He's inherited, Nigeria, which should be a beacon of hope. And he's now at his age, over 70 years as the president. We have seen the economy, going up and down like their currency. But I have hope that he will make a difference. It will be nice to listen to him and to assure us that in the next 3 years, we will see a difference in Nigeria as the leader, of that country.
I love that. I hope I get contact to interview him one day. I'll use your connections.
Go ahead.
Good. Wow, what an amazing way to end. And that was a great special moment for me, for the people listening or watching us. If someone is interested in buying a house or investing in one of your projects, how will they contact you? Where would we follow you? And where are you hanging out on social media?
Well, the name TAF is very simple. And very simple to remember. TAF. If you Google up TAF, you will get our contacts through there. That's the shortest one. Otherwise, I mean, it's TAF Africa Global. That's the company's name. TAF Africa Global. So you cannot forget it. If you type in TAF Africa Global, the website will come up. And in the website, you can contact us.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, everybody calls me Tough. If you look at Tough again, Mustapha Njie, I
Mm-hmm.
am on every social media handle. I'm even on TikTok,
I love
and I
that.
have some. Yeah, I have some huge following. I mean, I'm on LinkedIn. You can sign me up on LinkedIn. I have about 36,000 followers on LinkedIn. On
Beautiful.
Facebook, I have about 40 something thousand followers.
Mm-hmm.
On Instagram, I'm about 23,000 followers. On Twitter, about 20 something thousand. On TikTok, I have about 65,000 followers.
You are killing it in all
Yeah,
angles, aren't you?
yeah. And YouTube, I have also about 12,000 plus followers on YouTube.
Beautiful. I love that.
And the
Thank
thing is,
you.
I manage personally all my social media handles.
Really?
Yes, I manage all of them, and I also film them. You
Wow.
saw me with my camera,
Yeah,
with
I
my
saw you with your
phone.
camera. Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
had
even
it.
have a drone. So it's fun. I enjoy it.
Wow, love you, love that, love
Yeah,
that. Because I
yeah,
saw you, I
yeah.
said, you know what, I'm gonna take you photos because you might need this.
Yes, yeah.
Well, especially when you were taking the award, I said, no, he hasn't got a cameraman there. Let me do that for him at least. So I sat down, recorded it. I really hope that was helpful
Thank
as
you
well.
so much. Yeah, it was. It was. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the inspiration. You've been the best guest we've had in our podcast. It's really
Oh,
inspiring,
really?
and
Yeah,
people will relate to what you're doing because it's coming from genuinity. I can
yeah.
see the energy translating, and the life you've lived through real estate investment, and you've also get us Africans to actually think, you know what, you can do something else back home. Especially for myself, because I have not considered that for a very, very long time. But me in person like yourself personally telling me about Africa, learning about it again in this podcast has truly helped me greatly, and it would help lots and lots of more people. And I cannot wait to visit you in the Gambia or Sierra Leone, wherever you are, to get to spend some few days with you. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you to Rahim. Let's maintain the contact, and I'm sure. I mean, there's bright future between our relationship. Thanks for everything, and God
Thank you.
bless you.
God bless
All
you
right.
too. Bless you.
Okay.